Hi, it's John Fagan with Superior Realty Partners. Welcome back to another edition of Superior Realty videos. Today we're going to talk about homeowners associations and reviewing the financial docs when buying a property. Hi, welcome back to the video. Before we get started on today's topic, I want to point out two things on the website here. One, if you're curious about your home's value or thinking about selling, click on the free home value report. And secondly, if you're searching for a home, click on the search all homes for sale button below. Now, today's topic, a while back we did a video on homeowners associations, and when you're buying a property, you know, the pluses and the minuses of homeowners associations and why we're seeing them these days on so many properties that have homeowners associations nowadays. And the one thing we didn't get into there is the financial side of things and what you want to look for when reviewing those homeowners association documents and the financial side of things when looking at properties. And that's one of the things, that's one of your contingencies when you're in the contingency period, looking at a property. One of the things to do is review the HOA docs and make sure the rules are okay for you. There's nothing that they're restricting you from doing that you want to do, and stuff like that. So you want to review and the amenities and all that kind of stuff that we talked about in that video. So you can go back and look at that video for those details. But one thing we didn't touch on was the actual documents and the financials and what to look for on those side of things. And you want to make sure you're moving into a community that is secure in their finances. Obviously, there's an HOA due, whether that's $50 or $350. What are you getting for that, and is it covering what's there? Obviously, that HOA due goes to cover the amenities, whether there's a pool or park, landscaping, maintenance, HOA management company. That's where those fees are going. But a portion of those are also going to a reserve fund. And that reserve fund is to repair things as time goes on, things deteriorate and need to be repaired or replaced, i.e. Fences, roofs, if that's covered, landscaping, if you have benches and trash cans or a basketball court or a tennis court. Those things need maintenance, they need to be repaired, and at some point a lot of those things need to be replaced completely, and that's what that reserve fund is for. And so part of that reserve fund is every year there's a new reserve study, and that's going to look at all those items and tell you where you are with your reserve fund and if there's enough money in the reserve fund to cover those amounts that are going to be needed. And it kind of gives you a long-term look at when those things are going to have to be replaced and what it's going to cost and what's in your reserve fund to cover those. And it always gives you an estimate on how funded you are. You might, your reserve fund might be 50% funded. It might be 100% funded, which is good. It might be 150 or 200% funded, which is really good. Or it might be really low. It might be 35 or 40% funded. And they might have ideas of having to do a special assessment. So those are things you want to look at when moving into a community with a homeowners association. Is there any advance warning? Is there a notice that there's a good chance of having a special assessment? Because depending on the amount and the number of homes, it could be a few $100, it could be a few $1,000s or more, and you want to know that going in if there's any thoughts of a special assessment coming. So one good thing to look at is the reserve study. Every year they do a new reserve study. Once every 3 years, in most cases, they have to come on site and actually look at the things, look at the items that are out there, the basketball court, the pool, all that kind of stuff, and do a new assessment. But definitely look at the reserve study, look at the finances, see where that money's going, see how much of your monthly HOA docs are going to a reserve fund, and see what percentage it is funded. You want it to be up there. Doesn't necessarily have to be 100%, but you want to look at the items that are coming up and how funded it is. If it's 25% funded, that's a big red flag that there might be a special assessment coming. That's when you really want to go back and look through the past year's HOA docs and the meeting minutes from their meetings and see if they've had any discussions about a special assessment. So you know in advance what you're getting into, what the reserve fund looks like, what the study looks like, and what the HOA, if there's plans to increase the dues that you don't know about. So you want to look at all those things and really understand the finances of the homeowners association that you're thinking about moving into before you move in there and are stuck. So if there's plans to increase the dues, if there's plans for a special assessment, if the reserve fund is low, and even though they haven't actually talked about a special assessment, maybe it's coming because the reserve fund is low. So important things to look at when you're considering a home inside a homeowners association. Definitely want to review those HOA docs, review the finances during your contingency period before you're stuck, so you have a good idea of moving into that property and what the HOA looks like. If you have questions about a homeowners association, about a property you're looking for, or need help finding a property, We're happy to help and go over those HOA docs with you. Give us a call at 408-718-0264 if you know someone looking for a home. Share this video with them, like it below. And if you have questions that you'd like us to cover on future topics for these videos, whether it's for buying or selling, let us know in the comments below or shoot us an email or give us a call. And we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks. Have a great day.